So we have Brian Loring here, and Brian, tell me how this whole bike library thing came about, because I'm not very versed on the history, and you know.
Well, today we're celebrating our 1000th bike, which is quite a momentous event for us. You know, we started this thing as kind of a whimsical idea to put together a bike library. Started back in 2004.
2004.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Took a card table down to the farmer's market with about 4 bikes, and decided we would become the community bike project and start checking out bikes to people. And we checked out, I think the first day we checked out 2 or 3 bikes, and
awesome.
I realized we were on to something very good here.
I mean, now we have a big building here. Of course, we didn't have any of that back there, right? I mean.
Well, and even when we moved into this building, it was we operated pretty much. It was a very bare bones operation.
Yeah. And when about did we move into this building?
We moved in June of 2005.
Okay. All right.
And did a rehab on the building in January of 2006, and built benches and bought tools, and so for the really for the spring season in 2006 we were completely ready to go, and started checking out bikes, and that's when we started to tag bikes and count the bikes, and that's so we've done 1,000 bikes since that spring of 2006.
Wow, that's amazing, man. And now, just for future reference, because there's a small chance that we might not be here in this building forever, we are located on the corner of, well, the old Wilson store, which is right next to the parking ramp on College Street, the upper level. So I mean, who got this building for the city? How did that come about?
The city owned this building for a number of years, and you know, it was sitting vacant for probably 4 or 5 years before we moved in, and that was, you know, I knew this building belonged to the city, and so I really asked the city to let us use it, and they were gracious enough to turn the building over to us. We had a few limitations on it, but then we had to...
yeah, we have no bathrooms here, for instance, right? I mean, we have electricity, and we pay some basic rent, right? Not
and we don't use the basement. There are some places that were off limits, but in terms of the location, it's fabulous for Iowa City.
Yeah, and this is all volunteer work, right? All volunteer. So yeah, and I mean, we have, like, you know, if you were to add up, we're talking about thousands of hours of volunteer people. I mean,
well, you know, when you start something like this, you just never know who's going to show up.
Right.
You know, I sort of started this as an idea, not having any clue as to who might show up to help out.
Yeah. Right.
The people that have turned out to be a part of the project has been wonderful. I mean, it's really been, you know, incredible experience, and a lot of great people have shown up, and
I mean,
put in a lot of time.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have an exact count, but what would you say is approximately the number of volunteers that we have right now?
We probably have, you know, operate 50 to 60 volunteers right now.
That's amazing, man. Yeah, and I mean, on average, I mean, people put in, I know I put in, what, at least 4 hours a week in here.
Some people have probably 150 hours since January. So
There's amazing.
People are plugging in a lot of hours and putting in a lot of time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it cuts into my family time, it cuts into your family time, and, you know, I mean,
the bike library is part of my family.
That's right, I agree. It's totally, man. That's a statement. I'm going to write that in stone, man. Yeah.
This is a family as well, right?
That's right, exactly. So. Totally, man. I mean, yeah, so tell me a little bit about the 1000th bike. You know,
we got to it this week. We got to our 1000th bike, which means, and the way in which it works is that you know, some of the bikes are checked out multiple times. So we've done well over 1,000 checkouts of bikes.
Yeah.
We've rehabbed 1,000 bikes.
Yes.
This was quite a...
That's right, because several bikes have been checked out, as you said,
Yeah.
you know, more than once. So,
Right. So it's
yeah.
You know, we're well over 1,000 checkouts, but we've done 1,000.
And the way we know is because we put a little sticker on the bike that has, each sticker has a different number, so we can keep track, and we register and we log it all up and so on. So yeah, man. I mean, geez, this is like, I mean, there's other cities in the country that have this kind of bike library too.
I suspect there's a few other places that do a similar kind of project.
Yeah, that's really cool, man. So yeah, awesome. We'll change the background here and get those beautiful photographs back in there. Man, I was up until like 1:30 in the morning working on that panel. Anyway, so what else, Brian? I mean, geez, man, this is, you know.
Just happy to be here and happy to reach this threshold.
Yeah, and I mean, elaborate a little bit for the people who do not know, who's never heard about the bike library, and they might be in a different state or whatever, or a different part of the world or whatever, because this is going to be in YouTube. What is the bike library? How do we operate? I mean, where do the bikes come from? How do we check them out?
Donated.
Yeah.
And we essentially rehab some bikes to be checked out. We do a retail and checkout time on Saturdays, and so we generally check out, you know, 6 to 10 bikes, 6 to 12 bikes per week. And those bikes go out with a deposit. People have 6 months to use the bike. If they want to bring it back during that 6-month period, they're welcome to bring it back, and they're entitled to the deposit return. If they decide they like the bike and want to keep it, we encourage them to keep it. We really see the bike library as a gateway to cycling for a lot of folks. It's a low-cost entry point for bicycling. You don't have to you don't have to spend $1,500 to get a bike. You can get into it. So, and we have a very non-threatening environment here, so it's really easy. Sometimes bike shops can be intimidating. We want to try to get people into cycling in as smooth and low cost way as possible.
Yeah, I mean now we've gotten to the point where we're changing tires, putting new tires, new tubes, many things, cables and whatnot, chains, and I mean, until not too long ago we were not doing that, so our prices were even lower than they are now.
Well, that's not true. All the checkout bikes have been completely gone through. So we've always done complete rehab on those.
Amazing. Yeah. So I mean, that's quite impressive, man. It's quite impressive. Yeah, and I mean, we got really nice tools, nice benches here. I mean, so yeah, man. So
it's a full shop.
Full shop. Well, I mean, we're not really a shop. We operate. I mean, we're not in the shop. It's a repair shop, not a bike shop. But you know, in the sense of we don't sell bikes. I mean, and tell us about the community involvement. Besides, I mean, lots of donations and so on.
Well, certainly, the city has been the city of Iowa City has been a big supporter in allowing us to use this building, and you know, I think. Clearly, the volunteers and the donors of the bicycles are what makes the thing work. And one of the things I think we often don't pay enough attention to the people that donate bikes, but you know, this doesn't happen unless we get bikes in here. So it's a pretty critical thing.
Right. And I mean, we've got always problems with space. Although it does look like a nice big space here, but it really, I mean, we could use a much bigger building. You know, we have probably close to 100 bikes stored back there, and we have bikes in another location yet. I mean, so I think at some point we'll be moving out of this building. And where we end up will be an important transition for us, and so we need to start paying attention to what's available out there for us in the future. We'll start looking at possible new locations. Right, exactly. So I mean, you know, it's really amazing that people in the community have been so generous in donating so many bikes, and many of the bikes that we get in here are really, really good bikes, like Joe Balcom just checked out a nice Nishiki Japanese bike here, you know.
Very nice.
Yeah. So, yeah, what else do you have to add to our little conversation, man?
That's about it.
Yeah, yeah. How does your wife and your family feel about this whole ordeal, man?
My kids are always amazed when I can pick out the bike library bikes on the street.
Oh, right. Cool.
It's like,
cool,
there's
man.
a bike library bike.
Yeah, awesome. And of course we get bikes from the city, which I believe you already mentioned, right? The police
Right.
cleans up the town once a year or twice a year, something like that, right? And yeah, so that.
No, it's been a great. I think it's been the energy surrounding this operation has been fabulous.
Yeah.
We just have had great support from everywhere.
Yeah, and tell us a little bit about too. Like a lot of the bikes we get in here are literally not really good bikes, if not the majority of the bikes.
Well,
we recycle them, right?
We take everything. We don't turn any bike away. So it's if we can't use it as a checkout bike, we'll take parts and then recycle the balance, the metal, and we make sure we properly dispose of tires and tubes and that sort of thing.
Yeah, pretty popular place in town. All right, great, Brian. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.